few more seconds. I need to make sure that everything is fine there. Okay, hey YouTube, and everything seems to be good. We can start here. I'll review your trades, guys. If we have time, we'll go through all my trades, the winners and the losers. And we'll see if we have time after that to do some live trading together. Hey Marcos. So Ken, let's see what you did. Hey Rose. So Ken, you traded BE right there. You try to get into the short side and you got stopped out right on the next candle. Now this is not bad. Looking at the 5-minute chart, it's usually scary to get them the first 10 minutes. Most of the time, they do work sometimes, but they also fail a lot. I also struggled with that with INO today, or NIO today. But looking at this is not bad. It's clearly going higher. This is a huge move right there. $1.25 with no pullbacks. You take it to the short side after a shooting star at the high of day and an increasing volume or climactic volume. Now this is a really good indicator right there. It is bouncing off a daily level. Look how many indicators are telling us that this thing might reverse or might make a pullback, right? He's taken it to the short side. Good stop loss, and it's getting him stopped out. What I would do right here sometimes is just re-enter, give it another try. I do give it sometimes 2 chances, maximum 3 chances, but 2 chances I usually do that. Why is that? It did make a fake ABCD pattern. Still the volume is showing me that this is a climactic volume and it's setting up for a reversal. I see a daily level right there, shooting star, and I'm not going on ABCD patterns against shooting stars because I noticed that that fails a lot. So still the idea of short is valid, but not on this candle, right on this. Once it's making a new low, you are also having another confirmation right now that it's weak. Double top with the second top lower than the first one. You could either take it to the short side here or even here. Yes, this is late, but this is a good confirmation candle again to take it to the short side. And if I take it to the short side here, stop loss would be the high of the budgies. If I take it to the short side here, stop loss will be at least half of the week. The half of the week will be safe enough, but half of the week is not bad because once it's making a new low, it should just flush down right there. You're afraid to lose 2 trade too soon. On these type of reversals, it's totally fine, I think, because the reward you are getting on winner trades will make up for the losses. And I just got used to it. It's so sad to get into a trade, get stopped out, and then let it go without you. Then watch another reversal at which you're getting in, it gets you stopped out, and then it goes without you. This way, you'll have 2 trades at which you got stopped out, but 2 winner trades. And they worked out because you didn't re-enter. I learned that the hard way after missing many moves. And I know that sometimes you need to get a few stabs before it works out. And as long as you are keeping the risk to reward, you will still make it. And as long as it's extended, it will eventually pull back. Sometimes they are not pulling back. And when is that happening? That's happening when they are forming the ABCD pattern type A or type 1. They don't go to the 9 on the 5. They consolidate for a long time till they reach the 9 on the 5 and then bounce and continue the uptrend. Now on these type of stocks, I don't want to get chopped out and I don't want to get to max loss in them. And that's why I'm giving each stock 2, maximum 3 chances to work out. If they don't, I just switch and watch something else. Will you re-enter? Yeah, I would have re-entered there. Okay, let's see your second trade. Run. So you tried run for a short. Now here I wouldn't have given it these much tries. It would have been only this try. This try I wouldn't have went for. It is a parabolic reversal with a small head and shoulders pattern on the 1-minute chart. You're taking it to the short side after the shooting star on a new low and it's getting you stopped out. Good stop loss really tight. It's not bad. I think it's fine. I don't like this. It's gappy. I think it was spready a little bit, right? I mean, looking at the candles, I think there was at least 2 or 3 cent spread. But anyway, the entry was good. It got you stopped out. That's totally fine. I wouldn't have re-entered here. Why is that? Look at this. It is making a head and shoulders pattern, the 1 minute chart, making a new low, getting you stopped out. Now it might be making the second or the first up of ABCD patterns, after which it's going to break out. Or it might be wedging, and I hate stocks when they are wedging. We want to see a stock which is going parabolically to the upside. We don't love seeing stocks which are going sideways, something like that, or uptrending clearly. We want to see a parabolic move. After we catch that parabolic move, we want to see a reversal candle, after which we are entering, and it either immediately works out or maximum it does a second top. Now this top right here, it could be either a lower top, it could be double top, and it could be slightly higher than the first one. Any of them is fine, but that is your second attempt for a trade. You are taking it to the short side. Now it's either working out or it's getting you stopped out. What is my third attempt in these trades? Like maximum it's 2. Sometimes I'm giving it 3 attempts. Why? I'm giving it 3 attempts if I just noticed that my stop loss was so tight. I see that it's going up. It made a shooting star. I took it to the short side on a new low. Stop loss above the body. It's getting me stopped out. And then it's wicking down one more time, making a double shooting stars at the half of the day. I will re-enter on a new low and just simply give it a little bit more room. That's my third attempt. It doesn't mean that if it's making a third top or something like that, I will re-enter it. That's it. It's either working immediately or working after a double top. If none of them works out, I wait for it to continue going higher, and then I will be interested in it again. If it's going in a range, I will not be forcing it up to 3 or 4 times. Okay, perfect. I will go through examples, I think, later. It seems like we will have some time after we review those trades. They happened on the trades I've taken today. So Ralam, you have traded mRNA. This is the 1 minute chart, and I'm not sure what this is. Maybe this is the 5 minute chart. I would assume that this is the 5 minute chart there, and this is the 1 minute chart. I see that it's going down, extended from the 9 moving average in the 5 minute chart. It did a double bottom with the second bottom lower than the first one. Now remember, you either catch it right here. Not perfect, but not bad. You see that there is a spinning bottom right there. Buying pressure wicks. No daily levels as confirmation. No climactic volume as confirmation. But if you take this thing when it's extended from the 9 and the 5 after a huge drop, after a parabolic drop, this is decent. This is not bad. If you miss it, then you see it's dropping down, making a double bottom, fake breakdown. And how do I love to see fake breakdowns? I love to see fake breakdowns. Making the breakdown, but every time they're wicking up and closing above the level. If they were closing somewhere down here, I wouldn't like them that much. But as long as they're breaking and immediately wicking back up, that's when I actually love them. So I see a fake breakdown, I see it wicking all the way back up, and you're taking it to the long side. What's the mistake here? Anyone? Yes, Ralam. Patience. As long as the candle didn't close, you don't know how or what it's going to do. You could take it to the long side because it's looking like a hammer, and I know that it looked like a hammer right here. This is the place it opened at. This is where you took it at. It looked like a hammer after a fake breakout, and you were long buys on it, so you pulled the trigger. But the candle still didn't close. It could have just simply closed as a full red candle, or even lower than that. Patience is the key. Wait for the candle to close, or at least take it the last 5, 4, or 3 seconds before the candle closes if there are some indicators on the level 2 or the time and sales. Why do I love to wait for the candle to close? I usually love to wait for the candle to close to predict the price action of the next candle. When you're getting into the long side on the same candle, you can't put your stop loss so tight at the low of the body. Why is that? Because the next candle, it could just go down, not make a new low, get bought back up, make a new high, and then work out. So I usually wait for the candle to close. I wait for the next candle. I don't take it immediately once it opens or once it's starting to go up. I love seeing it going against me. After it's going against me and coming back from red to green, makes a new high. That's my entry, and now I can tighten my stop loss because it's already wick down there. It showed me that it doesn't want to break down, and now it's coming back up. This is the best thing you can get after waiting for the candle to close. First of all, you are confirming that the candle has closed as a reversal candle. The second thing, you see that the next candle, it tried to break down, but it didn't break down. It got bought back up, giving you another clear confirmation where you could put your stop loss at, and then just ride the move. Where would be your stop loss? If I enter similar to your entry right here, it will be below the wicks, because I'm not sure how much it can or where it is going to close or what the next candle going to do. If it's on this candle, I would just put it slightly below the bodies. Yes, exactly. Drew, make sure to send the screenshot to the off-topic chat so that I don't miss it. I will get back to it here, but I might forget about it with the questions or with the chat. So Ralam, let's see your second trade. You took it. Could not break 15 at volume on this candle. So I see there is a climactic volume which indicated the reversal for you. There is a daily level right here, which is also a good thing to see. It is extended from the 9 moving average in the 5-minute chart. I see that. There is view up on the way, but view up in this case could have acted as a target because the risk to reward is there. You went into the short side on a new low, VXRT, and it got to stopped out. This is totally fine. This is not a bad trade right there. It just didn't work out nicely. Let's see my VXRT chart because I took it twice. VXRT. So you took it to the short side here. Yeah, this I didn't take it because the view up was really close right there. I remember watching it. It was called somewhere there. And what it did here, if I'm not wrong, it didn't go to the upside and then break down. What it did is making a new low and then went to the upside. I really love a confirmation, especially when I'm not sure about the trades, when it's going to the up and then going to the red. If it's going to the downside and then coming to the upside, that's not the best thing I would love to see. But still, this wasn't bad. It was decent. It wasn't really parabolic though, right? It was going something like this. It's not bad. I mean, taking it right here when it was extended from the 95, the risk to reward was there. Taking it at 85 with a stop loss at 95. At view up, you will get around 4 hours. This is decent. You take it to the short side and it failed out. After that, I continued watching it. I waited for a confirmation. Now this is not a reversal candle, right? So I avoided it. This is a reversal candle with no new low. So I just continued watching it. It went up. Now here I wanted to enter once it went from green to red. I saw a lot of asks going through the time and sells. That was my confirmation, but I missed it and I waited for the confirmation candle. Continued watching it right here, and I decided, wait, this is not here, it's here, the 2-minute chart, and I decided to enter after this candle as my confirmation. Selling pressure, selling pressure, selling pressure, fake breakout, taking it to the short side, where my entry should have been somewhere right here, 1592, with a stop loss at 1602, somewhere around that, 10-cent stop loss. Unfortunately, I got a bad fill, which ruined my stop loss, and I just decided to bail on this trade, and I'm glad I did because it just didn't work out there. I tried to take this parabolic reversal on VXRT but couldn't get filled because of SSR. Is it on SSR? Okay, I see that. Maybe that's why I get the bad feel, because I clicked on it when it was going down, maybe it dropped down, wicked a little bit, and then got me a bad feel there. No, I got a nice feel on the next reversal, like the next reversal, which was right here. This got me a really good feel, luckily, and it's really liquid. I mean, there are 38 million shares traded up until now. So Gonzalo, let's see what you did there. Yeah, Ralam, it wasn't bad. I mean, it just didn't work out, so it's fine. Gonzalo, I can't see where you have taken the trade. Let me see if there was any question down there. Not there. Okay, I have been taking this setup quite often. What do you think? I got subbed out at first, worked second 9 EMA on the 1 minute chart, and 5 minute downward sloping and above the current price for a breakout trade. How would you place exits here? I can't see the triangles for your entries though. You can see in the 5S chart I use for scalping. We are taking the 5-second charts for scalping. Not bad. I mean, what platform are you using? Trading workstation? Trading view. So was this your entry to the short side at 10:30? I can't figure out where was the entry actually. 10:30. So having an entry right here, looking at the 1 minute chart and looking at the 5 minute chart, wasn't bad. This is a good entry right there. You see that it was going to the upside parabolically, right? Drop down, closed as a hammer, tried to push up, couldn't push higher, tried to push up third time and couldn't push higher. And what setup are we forming right here, guys? It's a descending triangle for a break of the view up. You see that the waves right there are not uptrending. It's lower high waves, lower high wave, lower high wave. Every time it's trying to break to the upside, it just continues going lower and lower and lower. You have flat support down here, and Gonzalo went in to the short side, and I think I actually see the triangle now. Yeah, and Gonzalo took it to the short side down here. Now this is a good place to take it to the short side. I'm not going to analyze the candles on the 5-second chart. Basically, it's so tight right there. But looking at the setup on the 1 minute chart and looking at the 5 minute chart, it's the same thing. A descending triangle right there, making a new 5 minute low. That's enough to say that this was a decent setup. What would be my stop loss right here for a descending triangle? It depends on an entry, right, guys? If you enter right for the breakout, at the breakout, it's enough to have your stop loss so tight at a new 1 minute high and get a decent risk to reward. If my entry is somewhere in between, somewhere in here, before the breakout, my stop loss would be either this high of the wave or the previous high. Most probably I will use the high of this wave, because if it's breaking it, look at this price action. Now this is not a great looking descending triangle. So yeah, this most probably would be my stop loss if I enter somewhere in between. For the breakout, only a new 1 minute high. Yeah, thank you, Peter. Now let's see your question. You got subbed out at first, it worked out on the second 1 minute above the current price for breakout. How would you place exits right here? So yeah, look at this. If you take it to the short side here on this candle, stop loss the high of this wave. If you take it to the short side somewhere here for the break, when it made this move right there, stop loss should be at least the high. Remember, if you are trading waves and you're trading a setup which is consolidating in a range, you need to have your stop loss at a technical level. You are entering right here. Where is the level it bounced off? That's it right there. Your stop loss would be up there. If you are entering right here, you can't put your stop loss at a new 1 minute high, because this is not the level it bounced off. This is the level it bounced off. It's still up there. Once you see it starting to make higher highs and higher lows, and then it's making a new low, now you can tighten your stop loss. You could put it somewhere right there. It's still in a range, right? Now look at this. It's coming back up, making a new high and then a new low. What would be your stop loss in this case? That's it, the high of the wave. Now it's coming back down, up, down. What's your stop loss if you enter in this candle, for example? the high of the previous wave. You don't need to put it up there. This is actually enough. If you are taking it for the break, you don't need to use the waves because it's finally breaking the level which was holding it. Just simply use a new 1 minute high for your stop loss. Yeah, was that clear, Gonzalo? Nah, it's totally fine. I'm just not used to this chart, but I will get used to it really soon. It's totally fine. So yeah, even let's see what you did right there. Traded, first trade was an ABCD, nice looking W shape. Action and volume looked bullish. We'll take a look at that. So you took the breakout. You entered just below the breakout as you saw the price was running up to it. So let's see this. Took this thing for an ABCD pattern. Sort of a W here, or you could look at it like this as a W. You can draw it anywhere. It's easy to draw afterwards, right? This is looking like a bearish engulfing sandwich, which is a bullish setup. It's immediately getting sold off, but still respecting the 9 and the 5. Double dojis as a confirmation and a new 5 minute high. So you could take it to the long side right here. I would be hesitant going against this right there. You were more patient and you waited for the breakout of these pivot points right there. Also confirmation candles on the 1 minute chart, and you got in before the breakout. This is not a bad trade right there. I'm usually concerned about going to the short side against to the long side against shooting stars, but looking at this, it did a shooting star at the high, but it couldn't even make it to the 9 moving average on the 5 minute chart, right? It wasn't that weak. If it was so bearish and this shooting star right here on the 5 minute chart pushed it all the way down here and then it started coming back up, I would not really take it to the long side. But since this shooting star at the high of the day didn't do much, it just made a new low and then it kept holding the highs right there, kept holding it right here, gave you confirmation candles to the long side on the 1 minute chart, gave you confirmation candles to the long side on the 5 minute chart. Now these are two indecision candles, not the buyers and nor the sellers, one right here. On this candle here, the buyers won, which is showing you bullish pattern, right? Two times, not the buyers, not the sellers. One time, the sellers, and now the buyers are winning. And one more time, the buyers are getting into it. This was a good long right there. One thing, this long was still in a range, right? This is the high of the range. You could see that on the 1 minute chart, that was still included in the range. And since you are getting it to the long side within the range, stop loss should be the low of the range or the low of the previous wave. Looking at the 5 minute chart, if you want to put your stop loss from the 5 minute chart, will be the low of the buys right here, or at least a new 5 minute low. Looking at the 1 minute chart, you could put it at the low of the previous wave or at the low right there. Now you are taking it to the long side, you are taking a partial at the breakout and exiting the rest at break even, which is good because you followed your rules. If I didn't take a partial right there, I would still hold it, because remember, as long as it's still holding above the 9 moving average on the 5 minute chart, it is still good, right? You see that the previous resistance right there starting to act as a support. It's wicking below it, but it's holding it, and then finally the real move happens. ABCD pattern is a breakout setup, right? Yeah, ABCD pattern is a breakout setup, so there is no need to partial within the range. I know this was concerning, and I would have also been concerned out of this. First of all, you're having a shooting star, then you're having a doji at the and a new 5 minute low. I could have even bailed on the trade because there are enough reasons to exit. Double top, a reversal candle, new low. So even if you didn't take a partial right there and it went against you, might have exited right there. Maybe I would have held on to it because it was still above the 9 moving average in the 5 minute chart, but you managed this thing so well. Now you're taking it to the short side for a parabolic reversal right there, right? Yeah, it's a parabolic reversal. It was very extended from the 9 moving average on the 5 minute chart. You see that on the 5 minute chart, this is extended, right? Around 60 or 70 cents move or away from the 9 moving average in the 5 minute chart. A reversal candle at the top, what's going to make me concerned slightly is this bigger lower wick right there. So I doubt I would have taken this for parabolic reversal only because of this wick, but this is still a reversal candle. You get a really good entry with a really tight stop loss and good partials right there, all the way down to the 9 and the 5. The rest exited break even. So good job on both of those trades. Thank you, Andrew. Yes, this is recorded and it will be on YouTube. So Lenny, let's see what you did there. Traded NIO, and this was for a parabolic reversal as well, I guess, right? You took actually the same trade I've taken, a little bit later entry, but it's the same trade. You see on the 5-minute chart, extended from the 9-moving average on the 5-minute chart, entry after a reversal candle with a bigger upper wick, just to tighten the stop loss. It would be enough to have it above that wick right there. When you're getting a little bit of a later entry, the sad thing is that some of the move was already done, and the next thing, wider stop loss, ruining the risk to reward. But I see that you could have made at least 1 R realized out of it, right? Or 2 R's realized, maybe around that. But still, yeah, it wasn't bad. Good job. You were patient on this one. Partial exactly at the 9 and the 5-minute chart and exited the rest at break even. You took it one more time to the short side later, but this reversal right here, it's not a parabolic reversal. This is more of an extreme reversal. You see that right here, look at these guys. It's making higher low waves. You see, it's uptrending. This is good. Now it's making a lower low wave, which is showing you that the stock is actually weak. And now it's also making a lower high wave, which is showing you that the stock is even more weak. Taking it to the short side, now you see that the trend has actually changed. It was uptrending, now it is downtrending, lower low and lower high. Here it was making higher highs and higher lows. There it's uptrending, here it started to downtrend. That was a really smart entry to the short side. One thing I wouldn't have done is exiting at break even. Yes, you're having a new 5-minute high, but you're going now not for scalp play. You're going for a trend trade for the other direction. You are trading the waves now, right? You're not going for micro moves. You see that it's making lower high waves. You're taking it to the short side. And what's your stop loss here? You can't put your stop loss at a new 1-minute high. Even if you put it, it's fine, but it's so tight right there. At least the high right there, or the high of the body, that would be the stop loss. And then you are waiting. Why is this your stop loss? This is your stop loss because you want to make sure that it's going to continue making lower high waves. If it's going to make a higher high wave, then it means that maybe the trend is actually changing. This is concerning right here. Why? Because it's making now a higher low. Maybe the trend changed. Did it? Not yet, because still the highs are on lows. Let us draw it this way now. High, lower low, but higher low. So the trend still is down. From the bottom side, it's going to the upside. This is concerning, but as long as it didn't do a higher high wave or didn't break to the upside, it's still not bad, and it's worth continuing to hold on to. You see it's making sort of a pennant right there, still making a lower high wave, and then it's finally forming the lower low. You see, so it's downtrending to the downside. The entry was good, the read of the price action was good, it's just the exit was early right there. Remember that your stop losses and your partials would be, or should be, depending on the time frame you're looking at and for the strategy you are playing. Going for parabolic reversals, going for momentum plays, going for 1-minute open range breakouts, it requires tight stop losses, it requires early partials. Going for bigger time frame plays, analyzing the bigger picture and what it's doing, requires wider stop losses and longer hold on for trades. So let's see what happened there. You took this thing to the long side, and what was your setup there? I could see, and I would call this a failure breakout step, or yeah, a setup failure. It was forming a descending triangle right there. It did break down, and guys, look at this. What is this volume right here? Anyone? It is a climactic volume, and here it could be one of two things triggered this volume depending on when it actually started increasing. If it started increasing once it made a new 1 minute low, it might be people are getting stopped out and that stop losses are getting triggered. If it started increasing down here, it means that people are hitting their limit orders for targets, and I see that there is a daily level or level right there, and other shorts, longs who are going against the trend are having their limits to the long side against the trend. Now this is a climactic volume. Climactic volume is a reversal indicator. It did break out. It was decently extended from the 9 and the 5. The reward was there. One thing is the entry was a little bit late. Now you might say, why would you take this thing to the long side when there is no reversal candle? This candle right here on the 1 minute chart is a reverse hammer, and I told you that I always pay attention to the wicks and I want to see a confirmation candle or a reversal pattern. In this case it would be either a hammer or maybe a doji. But remember on the webinar what I said? If you are having 4 confirmations, you don't need to have the reversal candle. You could even enter before the new high. Now you are having a stock which is extended from the 9 and the 5 minute chart. That's one. You are having a stock hitting a daily level. You are having a climactic volume. You are having a new high. Enough, right? 4 indicators. You are taking it to the long side. I would get in a little bit earlier just to have a tighter stop losses, and then go for the target, the 9 minute average in the 5 minute chart as first target, and then depends on where it's going to continue trading. So good job here. Yeah, this is good trade, amazing, and I love how you held on to it. So that was AC. Let's see what Rose did. Rose traded Dell. 1 minute open range breakout, Rose. So Dell, guys, Dell had good news. They made a nice move yesterday after the market closed. In the pre-market, the good thing about Dell, and I love that it didn't make a huge move in the pre-market. In the pre-market, it was simply going sideways. It wasn't extended in the pre-market. You are having a stock which is gapping up on good news. In the pre-market, it's not selling off. That's a good thing. And it's not going to the upside and not going extended in the pre-market, which is another good sign. You could just wait for the market open and wait for a breakout. That is a pre-market level right here, I could see. Let's see the 1 minute chart. A pre-market level right here. It's breaking it. It's close to view up. New 1 minute high, a little bit of a late entry, right? You would want to get in right at the breakout, somewhere here, just to have a tighter stop loss. But the setup was good. Partial all the way to the daily level and exited. The rest are break even. This was smart and this was great. Good job, Rose. So B-Tang, let's see what you did there. B-Tang traded VXRT. Lot of indicators there. I actually removed the Bollinger Band and everything there because I couldn't pay attention to it. But as long as you guys can follow everything, it's totally fine to have them. Now let's go through from the bigger time frames. Since we are having it all, I guess you are using it all, right? 30-minute chart. On the 30-minute chart, I can see a new 30-minute low where you took the trade, which is showing me that the pattern is weak. On the 15-minute chart, I see a reverse hammer or an indecision candle after a stock which is making lower high waves. Lower high, another lower high. Oh my god, that's horrible. Another lower high, right? Another lower high. So basically it's showing you that it's weak on the 15-minute chart. Let's go through the 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart, stock is breaking this level, not bad to take it to the short side at the open if it's giving you a good entry, and ride it all the way down. Let's go to the 2-minute chart and the 1-minute chart. This was a good 1-minute open range breakout, combining all those charts right there, guys. And then once it's breaking, look at this, this is a flat support area. It is descending below it in the pre-market. Once it's making a new 1-minute low, this is a decent setup to the short side, especially that there is no much supports below you. Now this was a good breakdown. Now after it's breaking down, it's getting extended from the 9 moving average in the 5-minute chart. Btang missed the way or the setup to the downside. It did bounce off a daily level, slightly increasing volume, not climactic, closed as a hammer, and made a new 1-minute high. That would have been the better entry right there, but I guess you didn't want to get in after 1-minute confirmation. You wanted to get more confirmation, and you could see on the 2-minute chart we're having a hammer on the 2-minute chart. Once it's making a new high, that was your entry. Stop loss slightly below the bodies, and go for the rewards all the way up there. Now, was this short or it was long, partial, and add? So if this was a long, then partial, and add, it's fine, but I personally wouldn't add on the way up. We usually try to add on pullbacks, right? Stock is going up, we wait for a pullback, and then we just add for the step to the long side. Why don't we want to add on the way up? Because the stock might do a pullback. It will not just simply go up, right? So you're taking a few partials, your share size is smaller, you're adding right there, your average becomes somewhere around $15. It's pulling back, getting you stopped out, and then it goes without you. So I wouldn't do that add right there. What you could do is let it go up. If it continues going higher, that's fine, you are already in it. Yes, the winner will be smaller, but still you are holding onto it, so there will be a decent winner. Or wait for it to pull back, come back up, you add, and now at least you'll have a good stop loss to place, and you will just hold on for the trade. You will not get stopped out. It already did the pullback, and now it could just simply continue going higher. Now, if this was a short, I would avoid it. I know that it's more weak. Looking at the pre-market price action, it's more weak. Looking at the 1-minute chart, 2-minute chart, all the charts, it's more weak than it's strong. But first of all, it's pulling back parabolically. You're having reversal candles on multiple time frames. It's bouncing off a daily level, and it's not making a new low, right? If you want to take it to the short side, at least, I mean, the least you could do is take it to the short side once it's making a new low. Once you see that it bounced off a level. What's the end of the pullback? The end of the pullback is the moment the stock starts making new lows. On the way up, you try to avoid it. I know we are tempted to get best entries as close as possible to the resistance. Maybe sometimes we are tempted to take it to the short side below view up, to have our stop loss at view up or at the 200 moving average right there, just to have a tight stop loss and then let it run with us. But we can't do that. We don't know what is the end of the pullback, so we need to wait for confirmations. And in this case, a new 1-minute low wouldn't have been enough for me. I would wait for an M shape, because this is a parabolic pullback right there, and only new low doesn't mean that it's going to go down. It might be actually forming an ABCD pattern, CD pattern, and a good place to add to the long position. So the short on a new low is not the best thing to do on a stock which is reversing with volume or reversing parabolically. But most probably this was an add. I don't think Btang would take it to the short side and hold it all the way up there. Ivan, let's see what you did on PNN. Oh, this is from yesterday. I bet it's from yesterday, and I will share with you guys something, because this is something I did as well. I think it was PNN which gave me some pain yesterday. My live trades were going down. Come here. Look at this. This is my trades yesterday on PNN, but I'll review your trades first, Ivan. and then come. So I'm PNN in parabolic reversal. My first time trying these, got stopped out on the first 2 attempts. First attempt was good. I shorted on the 1 minute low. I think I should have waited for 2 minute low since there was no candle pattern on the 1 minute chart. Second attempt, I did wait for a new 2 minute low, still stopped out. Would you still consider this a good entry? Third attempt, finally worked out. I look at it on the 2 minute low with my stop above the body and my entry candle. Black lines with chart. So look at this. Your entries weren't bad. Stock is going up, making a breakout, closing as a doji on the top. You're taking it to the short side on a new 1 minute low, and you get stopped out. Fake breakout again, closing as a shooting star at the high of the day. You're taking it to the short side, and it's getting you stopped out. Right here, I wouldn't really like it to the short side. Yes, this time it worked out like a charm, and this was a really good move. I remember missing this thing. I slightly regretted it, but not so much. Why is that? Because there was no confirmation. It could have just simply made a new low, right? Similar to those lows right here, and make a new high. This was a wedge right there. I avoid wedges. I give it two tries, and I'll give it third try only if I see that it's actually worth it. Here, that was a hammer, which is not a reversal candle. You are having a flat support down here or a channel right here. Look, you could draw it just. You could just draw it like this, like this. I mean, a few pennies doesn't really matter. What it could do is you take it to the short side and immediately just squeezes up and continues doing those fake new lows, 1 cent highs, fix new lows, 1 cent highs, and it'll just get you stopped out one time after another. I'll show you what I did on PNN. It was literally similar to what you did. You see my trades? Now this is mine. I take it to the short side one time, it gets me stopped out. I take it to the short side after shooting star, it's getting me stopped out. I'm still watching it, but I see that this is not a reversal candle. It's not something I would love to take, so I just avoid it. And I take something else instead. This was 945, 945. I actually took those 2 trades at the same time. Play, which worked out, and yeah, RCL for example here. It was, yeah, I stopped watching PNN right here, and I just decided to wait for some other step, because I know that yes, this setup might have went without me, but better saving the bullet for a setup which might actually work out. And look what happened after that. 10 minutes after, a good setup, right? Stock extended from the 9 moving average on the 5 minute chart. This is the 1 minute chart. It's making a double bottom with the second bottom higher than the first one. Fake breakout, a reversal candle, and a new low. Take it to the short side, tighten your stop loss, and partial all the way down. You see, if it's not giving you the perfect setup, just avoid it. Let it go without you. Let it do whatever it does. Wait for a perfect setup, because there will be a perfect setup. Avoid those setups which could just simply get you stopped out right there. I remember last time I traded PNN, it was also very reluctant to pull back. Might just avoid this stock in the future. I have CGC in that list low. Yeah, it's hanging man. AC at the high of the top, it's hanging man. It's a reversal pattern or reversal candle, but I usually avoid taking those to the short side because I notice that they fail most of the time. You could also call this a hanging man right there. Not literally hanging man because it's not at the high of the day, but still. Hey KPH. So let's see Valentin and then Matty. Valentin traded Dell, and yeah, I see what you did right there. So look at this. You get in within the range. You could draw the pennant right here. It's fine. Higher highs and higher lows, and that's the break of the pennant right there. But still, when you are trading pennant, your stop loss should be the low of the last wave. You got the breakout. Now just simply tighten your stop loss for the low of the wave. You got the direction you want to take the trade off based on this setup. But it doesn't mean that necessarily once the pattern is broken, the trade is going to go in your favor. It could just continue going sideways. It could maybe form another pennant. Right? They're not exact. They're not literally to the penny. You read the price action, you read whatever you have right there, you determine the direction of the trade, but the stop loss still needs to be a technical level. Why is that? Because the stock is still in a range. That's the range at which it's stuck at, right? And as long as it's in the range, your stop loss needs to be technical. Once the stock is breaking out, if you are getting in for the breakout here or here or here, you could tighten your stop loss to a new 1 minute low. As long as you're in the range, your stop loss should be a technical level at which you could survive the pullbacks, because you see it broke the pennant. The breakout wasn't with volume. This is the average volume right there. It continued going sideways and then eventually it just worked out. You could see that later the previous resistance acted as support. Oh my god, that's right here. So this wouldn't have been a bad long, this wouldn't have been a bad long right there. It's close to the 9 to 5 previous resistance acting as support, but it fails out eventually. Yeah, for the entry, I think your entry wasn't bad. I wouldn't have get in right there. I would have got somewhere in there if I was looking at it, but stop loss would be down there and I would try to survive the pullbacks. Most of the time, I respect my max losses and I wait for it to either work out or get me stopped out, because it's been a lot of times where I'm getting into a trade, I exit because of some candle and then it goes without me. I hate when that happens. One thing I'm usually doing before getting my entry, I wait for a confirmation candle to enter. I want to see a setup on a bigger time frame, a setup on the 1 minute chart. No matter where I want to see the setup at, my entry is always after a confirmation candle. Hammer right here. I wouldn't take it here yet because it's still weird making those lower highs. Here it's finally making the higher low. Maybe I would take it here, but I'm not sure I would do that because we still have this pivot point right here, which it could just bounce and drop down. But once I see confirmation candles, triple confirmation candle, and then a new high, that would be good for me. Again, dojis right there, maybe I will enter somewhere right here. Or if I miss the breakout, I would get my entry after the hammer right there once it makes a new high. I always watch for the candles, and I try to base my entries based on candles. I see a setup, but my entry is always after a confirmation candle. Why confirmation candle? Or what I mean by confirmation candle, I mean a candle which is supporting the direction to which I want to take the stock to, or the trade to. You're welcome, perfect. Now let's see what you did there. I think this was Drew. It was Drew, I guess. Yeah, it's Drew. So Drew traded Dell. The candles are kind of small there, right? It's because it's zoomed out, I guess. But it's fine, it's fine. Let's go through bigger time frames. Dell on the 15-minute chart. 3-bar setup right there on the 15-minute chart. You are not using moving averages, I guess. How is it going for you? Trading with no moving averages. It's a little bit tough for me because I see that it's all plain. There is nothing to watch. But guys, this is something also not bad to do. You could just base your trades based on the intraday levels you are drawing. Instead of moving averages, you will have those lines you are drawing intraday. I think there is no pre-market data because he doesn't have it, or he doesn't include it. Because this is DAS and there should be pre-market data unless you just exclude it. Anyway, looking at this, not a bad ABCD pattern on the 2-minute chart. This is the trade which you wanted to get into, I guess, Valentin. And I see that Drew got in after the breakout of the consolidation area, just for the confirmation. This is on the 1-minute chart. On the 15-minute chart, it's on new 15-minute high. On the 2-minute chart, right after it broke out the consolidation area. Stop loss would be somewhere down here or at the low. And I see that you actually exited at break even, right? Yeah, it's totally fine. It's not bad. It's 3-bar play right there. It was good, it just didn't work out as much as you wanted. One thing I would have done, maybe I would have exited a little bit earlier because of the double top, or took some partial. But you managed it well, and the entry was good. VXRT is being called on the scanners. Let's quickly take a look at it before we finish everything here. Maybe it's setting up for a reversal. Yeah, look at this, climactic volume. Let's see the 5-minute chart. I wouldn't take this parabolic reversal. It's happening after a cross. I want to take the parabolic reversals after trend establishes. Maybe if it continued downtrending for at least 15 minutes and then get extended and did a new high, I would take it. But since it's reversed, there was the cross, drop down and made a new high, I wouldn't really take it. There are a bunch of resistance on my way. The moving average in the 5-minute chart, a lot of moving average in the 1-minute chart, and let's see the 2-minute chart that we're having right there. Yeah, but view up on our way. So yeah, this reversal I would avoid it. The next thing here is that the risk to reward will be a little bit messed up. Around 20 or 25 cents stop loss. You would need at least this right here to get 3 hours. So let's see what Yuval did, and then I'll go through my trades. So Bal traded, let's see that, entry after the squeeze. Now this is a horrible price action. Looking at the charts, you could analyze it, you could try to get some good entries right there. But looking at the chart right here, I would not trade this thing. It's working from the ups, it's working from the bottoms, making a lot of confirmation candles, or not confirmation candles, a lot of indecision candles, after which it's breaking down, then some reversal candles at the bottom, after which it doesn't reverse. Now this is a horrible price action, right? Usually when I see these kind of price actions, I just avoid trading them. I see that there was short squeeze, like it was downtrending right there, forming a channel to the downside, shorts got squeezed, increasing volume slightly, a new 1-minute high, you're taking it to the short side above view up and just taking an early partial. The scary thing looking at those candles right here is that they are not clearly trending. They could just simply make all the way down. They could engulf half of the candle, half of the candle, half of the candle. So you could take it to the long side here. Your stop loss would be really tight, but you could just simply make it all the way to the half of the candle and then go all the way up. This is ugly price action, and happy that this here turned out to be a winner. Now look at this. You're trying to get in one more time to the long side right here on this choppy price action, but you see what happened because of this previous price action. Again, it's not really clear. It's trading in a range and you are getting stopped out. Look at that. This is your reward at the beginning, this is your loss on another trade. Then you are trying to get in, I'm not sure, to the long side or to the short side. I wouldn't take it to any direction. To the short side, I wouldn't take it because you have a bunch of pivot points below you. You could see that it was holding down here, it's holding down here, it's holding down here. And even if it breaks down, I will not take it to the short side because it did break down here, but it didn't make big move to the downside. Before, when this was holding, it did break down here, but it didn't make a move to the downside. The price action is choppy, and I personally would have avoided trading something like this. We're having a lot of good stocks which are trading clean, which are better to watch in my opinion. But I see that you got to the long side, you get stopped out, squeezed back up, you re-entered one more time, you put your stop loss down here. Luckily this time it didn't get it, and you held on nicely. I like how much you held right there. This is a really good thing. I like that you are respecting your stop losses, but reading the price action on a stock like this could be really difficult. Good job managing it being a winner. Hey Dale. Bar, let's see what you did there. SPCE. Now a little bit tight stop losses, I guess, right? On the 5-minute chart, I see a 5-minute open range breakout. You're taking it to the long side, and I would just hold on to it because you're getting to the long side. Stop loss at least have the candle or view up, and it's working out nicely, right? You're taking it to the long side, and it was just a tight stop loss, I guess, right there. Let's see what you did right there. Yeah, long and a tight exit, I think, or maybe that was a partial after which you took it. Yeah, it was a long and you exited, right? There. This is bad, sorry. So yeah, anyway, if this is a long and you partial a little bit or decreased your position and then exit the rest, it's fine. Maybe if you just went in so heavily. If this was a long and then you exited, it was sad because the trade was really good. It's fine. Taking it to the short side here, I'm not sure about that. Let's see the 5-minute chart. Yeah, I see it extended from the 9 to the 5. You're having a reversal candle on the 5-minute chart. You're having confirmation candle on the 2-minute chart. You're getting into the short side, double top on the 1-minute chart. You're getting in for the breakout. Not bad right there. didn't take any partials, went against you, exited at break even. Shorted it one more time. This I will not do. You could see that on the 5-minute chart, here it was decent short because it was extended from the 9 and the 5, but now it's close to the 9 moving average in the 5-minute chart. And remember guys, don't go against the 9 moving average in the 5-minute chart, and don't go with the trend when the stock is extended from the 9 moving average on the 5-minute chart. One thing I could see right here, you want to be in the position, you don't want to miss the trade, and that's why you are getting a lot of entries. Remember, you don't need to catch the move. If the stock is just going without you, if it's doing whatever it's doing and there is no good setup, let it do whatever it does. Wait for your setup. And I recommend everyone to have a playbook, to have some setups to trade, and wait for the perfect setup. If it takes 5 minutes after the market open, take it. If it takes you an hour after the market open, just wait for the market to open. Abel, thank you so much. This is my bad. I didn't pay attention to that, and you just gave me that note. I had the chat actually so increase right there. Peter? Let's see what you did. You traded KHC, and I guess you tried it for a parabolic reversal right there. Not a bad entry right here. There is a reversal candle, there is a double top, and it got you stopped out. You try it one more time right there. Let's see the 2-minute chart. Not bad, new 2-minute low, and it's getting you stopped out one more time. So yeah, this is not that bad. Looking at it right here, you gave it 2 tries. That's what I usually do. It doesn't work out, just don't be mad about it. It's totally fine. I see you're having a daily level on the way. You tried it multiple times to the short side on good setups, and it just didn't work out. One thing I would have been concerned about after I've seen right this is it's starting to wedge. So good reversal candle and getting me stopped out. Another new low and getting me stopped out. So looking at this previous price action, I doubt I would have taken a third trade right there, especially that it's getting closer to the 9 and the 1. But still, it's not so bad right there. Thank you, AC. So yeah, let's quickly go through my trades. We're having 2 minutes. I'll show you everything I have traded and what worked out, what didn't, and what wrong I did right there. So today, first of all, I've traded NIO. I traded NIO 3 times. This is it here. This is it here. So we don't need a bunch of time frames. We need only the 5-minute chart. On the 5-minute chart, what did I see at it? Let's make it like that. On the 5-minute chart, I see it going up. I see that by the time I tried to short it, it was decently far from the 9 moving average on the 5-minute chart, giving me a decent risk to reward. Huge move right there. This is around 50 cents move right there, around 3% or 2% of the stock price, which suits my criteria. Now I'm going to the smaller time frames to try to catch a good entry. On the 1-minute chart, a reversal candle at the top, taking it to the short side, not getting the perfect fill because I wanted to get it in somewhere right there. Stop loss right above the wick, 12.82, entry 12.76, 6 cents stop loss. It's going all the way to 12.66. Not making it even to 2 hours, and I'm getting stopped out at 1 hour loss. Totally fine. This right here, me breaking my rules. I'm getting in for a parabolic reversal, revenge trade after a hammer or after a bigger lower wick. This is something I tell you not to do, but I did it, and because of that I paid the price and I lost one more trade. Now this is decent. I see a reversal candle, spinning top, new 1-minute low, really tight stop loss right there, partial all the way down. Nah, that wasn't my stop loss because my reward was 2 hours here, so I guess this was my stop loss here. Started partialing all the way down, exited the rest at break even, made the losses back, still down after commissions. Traded VXRT twice. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. Extended from the 9 on the 5-minute chart here and here. Going to smaller time frames. bad entry right here. We wanted to get in a little bit earlier, but even here it was bad. Why is that? Because most of the move was already done. We need to catch it after good reversal candles, and we want the reversal candle to be at the high of the day, not somewhere in between, right? So this wasn't perfect play. Yes, it was 3-bar play, a confirmation candle right here for the small setup right here, but it was not my parabolic reversal, so I just panicked a little bit. I knew that I was breaking my rules, took a quick partial, exited break even. It's not a good trade, and I think I just made the commissions back because I got some slippage. You see my entry, 12.85, and my exit 12.88, so basically it was almost a break even trade. Next trade, right here. On the 1 minute chart, it doesn't look perfect. There is a shooting star at the high of the day, an engulfing, and a new 1 minute low. But this trade right here, it was based on the 2 minute chart. A reversal candle at the high of the day, shooting star, new 2 minute low, stop loss up there, partial a little bit on the way, and I exited most closer to the 9 moving average on the 5 minute chart. Still in this trade, I have around 3% of my share size right here. 3% is not so much. I think it's around 30 shares for me. But let's see what it does. I wanted to have I actually don't even have my limit order. So my limit was at 505, 1505, above the $15 round number. It didn't make it anyway, so no regrets. I'll keep watching what it's doing and we'll see what it does. And the last thing I traded was SPCE. Let's go to the 5 minute chart first. Extended from the 9 moving average on the 5 minute chart. Going to smaller time frames, the 2 minute chart and the 1 minute chart, and most probably I placed my trade here of the 1 minute chart. 2 dojis at the high of the day, right? 2 confirmation reversal candles. New 1 minute low for my entry. Stop loss above the body, around 8 cents stop loss, and I have taken partials all the way down to the 9 moving average in the 5 minute chart. The rest exited closer to break even. So yeah, those are my trades for today. Good job guys for your trades. Good job respecting your rules. If you have any questions, you can ask. I know we're over time, but it's totally fine. And if you don't, do you take first partial for R? Even it depends on how good I did for the day. If I'm way green, I will take my first partial 4 hours. Most of the time, I take my first partial 3 hours. If I'm down, I will take partials at 2 hours. Sometimes I'm trading my PNL, but that's bad. But most of the time, I'm taking my partials 3 hours. On SPC, technically, it's not a new 1 minute low. I'm not using the lows, the wick for my indicator for new 1 minute low. I'm using the bodies for new 1 minute lows. See? I'm not using the wicks for my confirmation. What is your R goal for the day? My R goal for the day is 3 hours, but I aim for more, just to cover my day, my max losses for the day. Having 5 to 6 hours on average is a good day for me. 3 hours is my goal. Yeah, Gonzalo, I'm not using the wicks. My max loss is also 3 hours. If you're having 50% win rate, 60% win rate, I mean 60 to 70% win rate, and my win rate here is around 65% last month, or last couple of weeks, and I don't really remember when that was. I think that having your max loss for the day similar to your daily goal is fine. But again, it's so rare that I stop trading at my goal. I continue trading and I try to make my daily my winners bigger than my max loss for the day. How much position you take off at first partial? It depends. If it hits the non-moving average in the 5 minute chart, I exit 70% of my position. If it's going down to the non-moving average in the 5 minute chart, I take 30 or 20% partials. Like this was 30% partial, another 30% partial, and at the non-moving average in the 5 minute chart, I exited 70% of my position. The rest exited a break even. With these parabolic reversals, when will you move your stop to break even? After I take the first partial, stop loss is the break even. Since they are supposed to work quickly, do you also tighten your stop quicker? On that same note, how will you move your stop down to lock profits? I don't move my stop loss down. My stop loss is my original place. It was, which is right here. Sorry, above the body. Right after I take my first partial, my stop loss is break even. No matter what's happening, my stop loss is break even. Do you use the 5-minute highs or something else? I don't use the 5-minute charts. Maybe if it's going down, then it's making a new 5-minute high before hitting the 9-moving average in the 5-minute chart. I will exit before my break even. If I have new 2-minute highs or 1-minute highs, I don't care about that. I will hold it to break even or to max loss. 5-minute chart or new 5-minute high could be my only reason to exit before my break even. I have been making my goals 5 hours and I feel like it's putting too much stress to hit that goal. Dardan, if your winners are average of 2 to 3 hours, you can hit the 5 hours easily. If your winners after partials and ending up at break even are around 1 hour and less than that, it could be really difficult. So I would recommend decreasing the goal for now until you can hold on for bigger moves. How scalable do you think this setup is? It's working really good for me. I'm trading only this setup like the past month. I'm trading other setups sometimes, but this works really well for me. So for now, I'm stuck with it. And remember, whatever is making you money, stick with it. Once I see that this setup is not making me any money, maybe the market changed or whatever, I will try to adjust to the market condition and I will trade some other setups. So yeah, that's it guys. Have a good day. I'll be in the chat room if you have any questions, and feel free to email me ayman@beerbulltraders.com. Guys on YouTube, if you have any questions, feel free also to email me at ayman@beerbulltraders.com, and talk to you on Tuesday.